The next case is going to take us to Lincoln City, Oregon. It's going to be 1984 when 16 bodies were discovered in a mortician's garage. This man up here was Dale Omsberg, who in 1984 was 34 years old, and he was the owner of Pacific Mortuary. He had owned it for about 4 years in Lincoln City and also owned a graveyard not far from the mortuary. On October 18th of 1984, some residents in the area started reporting a foul odor coming from the property. When investigators went to the property, they discovered 16 bodies stacked in the garage. Some reports said that the bodies were literally stacked like cords of wood. These bodies were supposed to be cremated. These bodies belonged to loved ones who paid for cremations and never received the ashes. In fact, one of the victim's family members said that she had paid for the cremation, was told that her husband's ashes were spread in the ocean, when in fact, her husband was wrapped in a sheet in the garage. The fuck? Now, in 1984, there was pretty much no state regulations when it came to mortuaries. The only laws that were out there had to do with like air pollution when it came to like cremations and all that. That's important because you would think, how did anybody get away with this? But again, this was 1984. After the investigation began, they realized that there was about 30 more unaccounted bodies. Because investigators knew he also owned a graveyard nearby, they started digging up the graveyard, suspecting that he probably even put multiple bodies into single graves. They realized that the 30 bodies that were unaccounted for had no cremation certificates on record. So they started digging up the graveyard. Ended up finding 17 of the 30 to 31 unaccounted for bodies, and 15 more were found that couldn't be identified or weren't on any kind of lists. Can't even begin to imagine how fucking traumatic that must have been for the families of these individuals. Like, on January 30th, 1985, Dale Omsberg pleads guilty to 60 misdemeanor counts of theft and abuse of corpse. He serves 23 days in jail. He's ordered to pay over $18,000 in restitution and gets 5 years of probation. Dale was actually ordered to leave the area, and as you can imagine, he took off. He actually moved over to South Carolina, all the way across the country, where he ended up unaliving himself in 2013. On May 9th of 2013, there was a call to the police from a young female saying that Dale had attempted to SA her. They go to the residence in a trailer park in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Dale had taken off to his residence nearby. Now, they said that they heard shots coming from his residence. SWAT team was called out. After about an hour and a half, they go into his residence where they find him unalived by a GSW. That shit is fucking wild. So this is what the property looks like in recent years. It looks like it's been a couple things. Most recently, I found out that it was like a thrift store or antique store or something like that. Looks like it's even been like a restaurant or a bread and bed and breakfast thing, or I don't know, but some shit went down in this property. If you're in Lincoln City, have you ever heard of this? What information am I missing? Because I feel like there was a lot more to this story. There was a lot of articles in the archives that I couldn't get to. So if you know anything else about what happened in Lincoln City in 1984, I want to hear it in the comments.